There was something that kind of went viral that popular Love Island couple, unnamed, had known each other before the villa, and they went in with the guise of winning the show. And a lot of people jumped to you guys. Any thoughts on that?
What's up, everyone? It's Chicks in the Office with Rhiannon Fran, giving you that Friday energy on a Friday. Hopefully everyone is having a great week.
It is Friday.
It is Friday.
End of the week. Big weekend. Holiday weekend.
It is.
End of the summer.
It honestly does have that end of the summer vibe. Well, yeah.
Labor Day weekend, you know? It isn't technically the end of summer.
No.
But it always feels like it is.
Once September
Closing
hits,
time.
Yeah. I did something like summer-esque last night because I felt like summer was coming to an end whenever September hits.
Yeah.
I was like, why don't we just take a drive?
First day of fall is September 23rd.
Yeah. I was like, why don't we just take a drive to the Jersey Shore? It's only an hour away. Go to a really good seafood place, walk around, really take in the last bits of summer.
And beautiful sunset last night.
It was so gorgeous.
Beautiful. All I saw on my
pictures.
Instagram was beautiful sunsets, the moon.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone was posting about the super blue super moon, whatever it was.
Oh shit! I forgot to look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
saw it
sitting
on
in
the
my
drive
apartment.
home.
I couldn't see any. I was like, oh, I only saw the pictures. Didn't see anything.
Yeah. It was cool. It was a beautiful night.
Beautiful, stunning night. And you went to Red Lobster.
No, I didn't go to Red Lobster. I went to this.
Oh, you mean your beautiful romantic night at the Red Lobster at the Jersey Shore?
I went to this place called Red's Lobster Pot.
Yeah.
In Point Pleasant, and I put it on my story, and I wrote like worth the drive.
Yeah.
And people responded being like, worth the drive to Red Lobster. I was like, no, Red's Lobster Pot. So I could see the confusion. And
Definitely.
then I put a video of the food.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, wow, Red Lobster really upscale.
This is a so different kind of Red Lobster.
Yeah. No, it's so good though. Highly recommend. I guess.
That's a beautiful evening.
It was really, really nice. Got some ice cream after.
Oh, so nice.
It was a nice little summer night.
Yeah.
End of summer night.
Summer night.
Grease?
Yeah, Grease. Can't quite get that. Nights. You know when they do that?
Yeah, I think you could. Given
I wasn't
right
really
moment.
trying that hard,
Yeah.
you know. I didn't want to really scare people.
No, beautiful voice of an angel.
I'm not going to do it. But yeah, Labor Day weekend is always bittersweet because it's a beautiful weekend. You always hope you have nice weather. But that Monday when you're sitting on the beach until like 6, 7 o'clock, just really like, do not take me off this beach. We used to always do Labor Day weekend at my aunt's in Avalon. And it would be my whole dad's side of the family, all the cousins, everybody would all squeeze into one house. It was always very fun. But as we've all gotten older, we all started to having other things to do and other plans, and we all don't do it anymore. And every year my aunt sends like old pictures of all of us. She sent them this morning. It was cute. But I'm like, damn, we're all grown up. Everybody's got their own things going on, but the pictures were very nice. And it was a great place. We drive to Ocean City, go to the boardwalk, play some arcade games, the whole shebang.
There's 2 Ocean Cities.
Yeah, Ocean City, New Jersey.
Because I used to go to Ocean City, Maryland as a kid. That's where I got hermit crabs.
Yes.
My purple hermit crab named Princess.
I think you could get a hermit crab in either Ocean City.
Hermit crabs
are a staple of any Jersey Shore or shore boardwalk.
Hermit crabs were all the rage back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I dropped mine. R.I.P. Princess.
Yeah.
Purple shell.
We had hermit crabs
obviously.
for a while. Growing up. I had a cousin that had a hermit crab that honestly like lived for an astonishing amount of time. Like, when they would get bigger, you'd have to get them new shells, and they would leave the old shell and move
they crawl into the.
Have you ever seen that process? We would watch them move into the new shell. You see their bodies, and you'd be like, ugh.
Right. It's a creepy
Go to the
process,
new shell.
but beautiful. It's life.
Yeah, circle of life.
Yeah.
They move on to that new shell.
Right.
Tough life for hermit crabs, though, man. They're locked into those
Little cages that are actually kind of colorful.
Yeah, there's the painted shells, the whole thing.
Make it real fancy for them.
What's your favorite boardwalk game?
Oh, interesting.
The squirt thing.
That's not my favorite.
I like
The water gun.
No, it just said squirt.
The squirt.
The squirt.
The squirt thing.
Yeah, the water gun.
The water gun. That one's not my
That's-
favorite. That one's like, they have a preconceived who's going to win right off the bat.
The horse one is good, where the guy's like yelling.
No, I like the more of the ball games.
Yeah.
The
Basketball.
activities. Like the shoot
Yeah.
basketball.
Pop a shot.
Yeah,
stuff.
pop a shot, or
Remember when I embarrassed myself?
when you have to like throw it and hit the
Yeah.
thing.
I always would try and do the rings on the bottles.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
You know.
Yeah. Anything that you really have to be active for.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
this
yeah.
shooting one doesn't really get me going.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have a fun weekend planned that I've been so excited about, and I haven't been able to talk about it.
I still don't think you can.
No, I think I can. I think I'm safe. I think I am.
It comes out in the morning. When's the
At
when's
night.
it happening?
I mean, let's
At
just.
night?
Okay,
You can't say it.
I don't think that she's going to listen to the show. Marty said that he was going to tell his dad to make sure that she doesn't listen to the show
Okay.
on the plane. Because
Okay.
I don't think she does. Maybe she's a secret
Let me tell you
listener.
something. You never know. And if I know something, you never know when somebody in your real life is going to be like, hey, listen to the episode. That's happened to me far too many times. So like somebody who I thought would never listen to an episode is like, hey, listen to that one. I'm like, oh God, why?
Right. Okay, well, here's a warning. If you are in my life, do not repeat what I'm about to say to anybody.
Guys, you're all about to be in a massive secret.
Only for a couple hours.
For a few, hey, that's a long time to
It's
keep
a
a secret.
It is.
Some people can't keep a secret for a second.
Right. Some people can't. Not us.
Not us.
Okay, I'll say it though. I
Yep.
do think it's safe.
Okay.
And if it's not,
Okay.
then I will take.
Then it's all your fault.
It's all my fault. But I want to talk about how excited I am.
No,
'cause
it's
I
you
really
can.
am
Yeah,
so
yeah,
excited.
yeah.
So we're going to Nashville, woohoo, to
So
surprise Marty's mom. That's why I shouldn't be saying it, because it's a surprise.
Yeah.
But I do not think she's going to listen to this.
You just get too dang excited.
I'm really excited. Like, I think it's going to be so fun. And we've known this for like over 2 months now. And I almost fucked it up last time we were together.
Yeah.
We were at dinner and we had like a couple of glasses of wine and we were chatting, and it like came out of my mouth where I was like, when we come to and then I was like, when we thought we were going to come to Nashville, we can't anymore. It's my brother's birthday.
Yeah.
Which is true.
Backtrack.
It's big backtrack. But she had this smile on her face where I was like, she definitely knows. But then
when you mix alcohol, that's when it gets dangerous. Because
dicey.
I almost did the same thing when Claire, my friend, was getting engaged. Her boyfriend had texted me, and I had known like 2 weeks prior. And we spent the whole weekend together, the Jonas Brothers, doing Jonas Brothers stuff. And that whole weekend, I knew. And the Friday night, we went to our friend's house, and it was total like casual. But my friend's dad was like, Franny, have a high noon, like it's just like, have a drink. I'm like, I cannot, because this is the setting. Like, we spent the whole night sitting around a little table, wine, playing games, like that kind of vibe. Like, and I was like, if I have one too many drinks, I am going to spoil this proposal. Like, I am going to fuck it up somehow. I know it, especially when I start to get a little drunk. I blurt something out. I did something the other day, and I can't share it. I'll talk to you about it after. We're just like, once I get a little tipsy, things just come out of my mouth. And sometimes Joe's like, why did you just say that? And I'm like, I honestly don't know. And I really regret saying it. And that would have happened.
Yeah.
So it's hard to keep a secret in that sense.
It is, and
you've kept this one for a while.
I have. It's been over 2 months, and it slipped out. And I quickly was like, "Oh no!" Like, we thought about coming. It's my brother's birthday, so we're going somewhere with him, which is true. It is my brother's birthday, but we're not going somewhere with him. We're going to Nashville. But she's been like really upset that nobody's coming to Nashville,
Yeah.
and she's just like, it's going to be fun because it's their first time going, and we know that they're
Yeah.
going to love it. But it's their first time going, and they're like, "Yeah, it's going to be fun, but it would be a lot more fun if like you guys can come, or if other people can come, even if our friends could come." Like,
Right.
she thinks nobody was available the
yeah,
entire
yeah.
weekend to
Yeah.
go, but we're all going, and I'm so excited because the first time we went to Nashville was for our show, which was awesome.
Yep.
And we spent a little time out after.
Yep.
The second time I didn't get to go out on Broadway, I was at a wedding, and so this is like full fun whole weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Gonna really dive into Nashville. I'm really excited, especially like we just have a great time together, the whole family. So I'm really excited. But it's going to suck if...
The other family members surprising as well?
Marty's brother and his wife.
His wife, yes. Okay.
And we all have such a good time together. So I'm so excited.
So
but like,
fun.
it's really going to suck if this gets ruined because of me.
Yeah.
But I don't think that will be the case.
Let's hope not.
I asked permission.
No,
I didn't just
yeah,
start talking about it. Like, I asked
Yeah.
permission if I could say this.
Look, you got permission, so really you could blame him.
I could. Well, anyways.
No,
I'm
it's
really
going to be so
excited.
fun.
Game Time is the exclusive ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. Game Time is created by fans for fans. Game Time is the ticketing app that makes it easier than ever to score last-minute deals on tickets to sports, concerts, and shows, and they guarantee the lowest price. We've all been to shows thanks to Game Time. This summer, I went to Drake and 21 Savage thanks to Game Time. Last year, we went to the U.S. Open thanks to Game Time. Game Time is the absolute best, and with football season approaching, maybe you're going to want to get to a game. That's where Game Time comes into play, and of course, more concerts this fall. It's all possible with the Game Time app. The biggest last-minute price drops can be found on the seats you thought you could never buy. The purchase process takes just 2 taps and 10 seconds, and once you buy your tickets, they're delivered directly to your phone, no printer needed. The app also allows you to easily share tickets with friends via text so you can get into the game seamlessly. Skip the hassle and enjoy the moment. Download the Game Time app or go to the website, enter your email, and redeem code SHICKS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. Once again, download the Game Time app or go to the website, enter your email, and redeem code SHICKS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply.
I'll be out on Long Island all weekend, soaking up those beach hours. Because, honestly, September on the beach is really also my favorite time to be on the beach. But wedding season is upon us. For those that are in and around our age range, I think you understand. And hey, like we're planning weddings, we get it. Like we're on the other side of it now. It's like I see it both ways. It's tough, but September, October, like it's really the busiest time for people to get married. It's the most popular time. So like we're right after Labor Day, full steam ahead. I got a lot of weddings. Wedding.
I'm excited for
Not every single weekend, but
Most.
a lot.
friend weddings because I haven't been to too many weddings where I have a lot of friends going.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
Oh,
for
friend
that.
weddings are the best. I had not been to a wedding since I was like 13 on until like
Recently?
last year.
Really?
Like when I started, when my friends like started getting married.
Yeah.
Like I had that massive gap where it was like family members, but like, I was really little. And that's like the family members that were getting married because I'm the oldest out of everybody. So like now it'll start happening more with like my family members, even though I don't have like any cousins or anything that are engaged or anything like that. But when the friends start to get married, it is very fun.
Yeah.
You're keeping that hair, huh, for the wedding in October?
I have a wedding in a couple weeks. I'm not part of that wedding.
Well, that's okay.
But yeah, I am a groomsman in a wedding in October.
Are you
there's
gonna-
nothing I can do.
Are you going to keep it till then?
Like, are you asking, am I going to dye it dark?
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to do that. I think by
Natural.
then it'll be like pretty much like only the top of my hair that'll be like.
Yeah.
I did get it touched up yesterday and like kind of re-bleached. It's kind of all over the place right now.
I love that he's like, guys, it's kind of made him like a high maintenance hair guy.
Yeah.
Like
He already got it
like
re-bleached.
went on his own to like go get it re-bleached.
No, but I didn't plan on going. I'm like friendly with the people who cut my hair, so she was like, I'll do it for free. Like, let me just touch it up, and it kind of backfired.
Yeah.
But and I did leave the purple shampoo in my hair for like 3.5 minutes before I went, and I don't think the purple shampoo does anything. I think it's a myth.
It's
Definitely not a myth.
Maybe it's too far gone. That's what the girl who's cutting my hair was saying. Maybe like
You didn't start using it.
I would start doing it
fast
now.
enough. I mean, I would use it right away now.
Yeah.
really.
Yes.
But wouldn't that take away like what she did yesterday if she put toner in yesterday?
No, the purple shampoo is only going to help
it
it.
helps.
Right now though, the color better.
Yes,
Right, it
way,
is,
way
but
better.
you should use
way
the
better.
purple shampoo.
But you should definitely use the purple shampoo.
Okay, I'll use it later today.
Yeah. All right. Good luck.
Yeah. Well, I hope everyone has a great weekend, no matter what you do.
Yeah.
Whether you're at
Soak
the
up the sun,
beach,
baby.
Soak up the sun.
I
won't
think
have
the
an
weather's.
episode
I think
Monday.
the weather's supposed to be beautiful.
Running around Nashville.
Yeah, we will not have an episode on Monday. We hope everybody also enjoys their Labor Day weekend.
Yes.
You don't need to listen to us on Monday, you know?
No.
We'll be back on Wednesday. Wednesday's our 600th episode.
That's so crazy. We've been talking for so long.
600 episodes is
what's weird
atrocious.
is I remember how big 300 was for us.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, 300 episodes, and like now
We
it's
got balloons.
600. Yeah, we got 300 balloons.
Yeah.
300 was like 2 years ago, I think.
It was.
Yeah.
And then like obviously,
We do 3 episodes a week.
and
It's a lot of episodes.
Also, like when we were doing Chicks in Hogwarts, that was 4 episodes a week.
We're chatty Cathy's.
Oh man, yeah, we really are.
100 episodes since Drew and I.
What's yeah? What's
a
our
tear
four-
falls.
I can't. I'm not gonna do the math right now in my head because God knows I will
many
do it
minutes?
wrong. No, I'm curious as to how long will it take us to reach 1,000?
Oh, I've done the math.
At this rate.
At this rate,
3 times a week, and we take how many weeks a year off do we take? Like
2.
Depends on if we do the shows, all that.
Yeah.
so. Let's just say 3 weeks off or 2.
Let's say a grand total of 3 because there's always episodes here or there that we missed that probably equal up to a week.
Okay, so then that'd be 49 times 3
Three.
is 147 a year.
Okay, so we would need 400, 2.5-ish years. Am I right on that?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
a little under
All right,
3.
52 weeks
Yeah.
a year.
Yeah, a little under 3 years. That's
Wow. What a moment that'll be. Hope we're still kicking.
We will. Why wouldn't we be?
I don't know. Dude, it's a long ass time.
We've been doing it for this long. I don't think we're going to stop
I
now.
know,
I
I
picture
know,
us
no, I
talking
know.
like when we're 50.
No, yeah. I was actually thinking the other day because not to get into too much detail personal life wise, but like Joe and I have been having conversations about like where we want to live and like all these things and like life planning. I was like, the odds of Rhea and I like living down the street from each other for the rest of our lives are like high.
Yeah.
Are like super high.
Yeah, probably.
I was thinking about it this morning. I was like,
chances of us ending up in the same spot.
yeah.
Well, you guys both want to live in Florida?
No,
Oh.
like
No.
no, it'll probably be like Long Island.
Yeah, like yeah.
But just
The Florida thing has left my brain.
The
like
Florida
I had,
thing,
that's like a later
yeah,
in life
later.
like dream. Like
totally.
I don't know. I
don't want to. You have to have those conversations too about like where you want to raise your, like where you want to have kids, and like Florida is a super fun idea of like like
vacation.
few years still. What's the acronym they use on DINKS, double income, no kids.
Oh,
Like that's like dink life.
yeah.
Florida, double
never
income,
heard
no
that.
kids. Yeah.
But yeah, that makes sense. And then it's like, okay, friends, family, my sister's having a baby. Like, there's so many people on Long Island.
Yeah.
It would be sad to leave it.
Yeah. Yeah. And like that's why I don't have like any. I've been having these conversations because I don't really have any like pull to a certain spot. I know that I want to be in like the tri-state area, but my parents aren't here. Like they don't live in this area anymore. So it's like, I think a lot of, especially if you're blessed enough to have the opportunity, like people are like, "Ooh, I would love to like be near my mom." And like when I have kids, like when my mom's around, like that's nice.
Yeah.
Of course that doesn't happen for everybody and everybody has their own path.
Right.
But like, I am like, I'll kind of go wherever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have like I'm not super passionate about any place.
Yeah.
So it's just been interesting.
Maybe we'll be neighbors.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, this could be a long time.
Listen, we can continue this forever.
Forever, I know.
There's
I know.
always something new to talk about.
That is true.
Even on the slow weeks.
Yep.
So let's get into it. Let's get into
Yeah.
the topics. Big topic. Oh my gosh.
Major.
Ready to dive into this one.
Major. We're
Carl
dying for details.
and Lindsay, summer house, done.
Yeah.
Over, ended their engagement, no wedding. Crazy. That's a big one to me. We got to dive into that. Taylor Swift announced that her Eras movie tour will be in theaters.
Her Eras tour will be a movie.
Yeah, her Eras tour. Her Eras tour will become a movie in theaters on October 13th. Very excited for that. We're wondering what's going on with Kyle, Richards, and Mauricio. Are they together?
Yeah,
Are
I
they
need
not
some
together?
answers.
A lot of up and down with that. And Matt James's mom it's been announced that she will be on The Golden Bachelor.
I'm hyped about this
Yes.
cast.
We have a weekly watch report, and we have a great interview with Hannah and Marco from Love Island USA, the winners.
Spoiler alert. No, it's all right. It's hey, at this point,
It's all over the place.
Yeah.
And I never got to finish
Yeah.
because we found out the winners
Yeah,
and we were
exactly.
waiting to talk about it. So let's get into it, starting off with the topics.
You guys all know Rhea and I are in the midst of planning weddings. We're busy bees. There's a lot to do. And you get that feeling, you get engaged, you're so excited. You live in that moment, and then you remember, oh, you got to plan a wedding. It's a lot to do. It's hectic. It can be stressful, but you can make it so much easier when you put it all on Zola, work with Zola. Zola is here for all of those moments. If you've been to a wedding recently, you definitely know Zola, or maybe you even got one of their beautiful invites on your fridge right now. I know I've got a few right now. Or you've bought a gift off someone's registry and thought, oh, maybe I'll get that for myself as well. When you're planning a wedding, you suddenly realize what else Zola has. It's where you'll find your venue and all your wedding vendors. It's where you'll create your free wedding website so guests can RSVP and buy you those amazing gifts. But there's so much more. They also have a budget tracker, a tool to grab all your guest addresses, checklists to keep you focused, and you can also turn to Team Z, Zola's free expert advisors, to answer any questions you may have along the way, or the Zola community full of other engaged couples who know what you're going through. So start planning at Zola.com. That's ZOLA.com.
All right, big news. Carl and Lindsay have ended their engagement. Lindsay just had her bridal shower 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
They were going to get married in
Carly
Mexico.
still came and surprised her.
Yeah. She did write that in her caption. They were getting married in Mexico, in a venue in Mexico, very soon in the fall.
Yeah.
And it has been called off. Now, this is so crazy for a ton of reasons. I mean, I think, including themselves, they wanted it to work out for the sheer fact that so many people hated on them, including the people they were surrounded by, and they just couldn't make it work. And I am dying to know the details. I'm really dying to know the details around this, but apparently it was all filmed.
Yeah, so Entertainment Tonight was the first one to report this. They said Carl and Lindsay have called off their engagement. The two were set to get married in November, but Carl told Lindsay he couldn't move forward with the wedding. The breakup was filmed and will most likely play out on the next season of Summer House. So that's fucking wild.
Crazy.
I have so many questions. I will say that I did see this rumbling start Wednesday night. I came across a TikTok of a woman who was like, I'm hearing things about Carl and Lindsay, that there was maybe something that the engagement might be over. Don't have too many details yet. And honestly, before we even really had a chance to dig into it a little bit more, this article came out, like the news broke online. So like now everybody's talking about it. The Bravo Instagram accounts, everybody started posting. They're saying, no, our sources, reliable sources, people are saying. This is the thing with Bravo that I do love, is that when shit hits the fan like this, the other Bravo people love talking about it, you know? So it's like Bravo Cocktails, like all those accounts, like Best of Bravo, like they have people that they reach out to, and like people start talking and things happen. But as of right now, it seems like this is all we know. And it's just, I can't decide what I'm more shocked about, or if I'm just like not shocked at all. But everything about their relationship has played off like on camera, right? Mm-hmm. All these big moments, they've all been filmed, they've all been a part of the show. We saw in the reunion, like the other girls saying like everything they do is planned and contrived and everything. So like at first shock, and then like my radar is up of like, ooh, like would they go this far? I don't think they would. I think that would be pretty crazy. I think that would be pretty crazy. But it is like, for Carl to do it on camera feels way more hurtful than having it happen privately.
I totally agree. And no matter what you feel about Lindsay, it just feels crazy to me that people who were about to get married, the way that she would find out that they are no longer getting married is on camera. Like, I would think that's a private conversation that then gets brought to camera, but the initial conversation being on camera is so crazy to me. I do not think they would go that far to gain money and whatever. Like, I think the public humiliation is just not worth that.
Do it for the plot.
I am so intrigued because I have seen that Lindsay has been hanging with those girls a lot more, like making TikToks with them at the house, and from the outside looking in, it seemed like things were okay.
Yeah.
And I just we're gonna need to know more details. But the crazy thing is like we're not gonna know until Summer House premieres, and that won't be till the winter. Like, it's gonna be a long time before we get Summer House. Now, BravoCon is coming up in the fall.
True.
And, you know, I think that things will come from that. They're going to be talking. People are going to know that they split up. I just want to know, I just want to know details.
Right.
I'm feeling
where did this come from?
I'm feeling so nosy about this one.
I know.
I'm feeling super nosy about this one.
Where did it come from? How did this conversation start? Like, if it was on camera, like, did Lindsay have any idea? Like, were they having issues? Like, what was going on?
Like, the bridal shower being 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I know.
Because if you get in a big fight, right, in the next 2 weeks, like, you would think you try to work it out before you get married. Something had to have been happening for a while if you call off a wedding.
Totally. I also kind of thought that even if they were having issues, that they would get married and then figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, like, for the moment. And I know that sounds like really, what's the word I'm looking for?
Dark?
Starts with an S.
Cynical?
No.
That starts with a C.
Yep, it does. Can't really think of the word that I want to use here, to be quite honest.
Feels really sinister.
Shallow is the word I was looking for. That, like, if they
good word.
We made it. That they would go about it this way, but I don't know, ever since the reunion and really, like, the more of the discussion of, like, how planned their stuff is, things like that has just made me look at them a little bit differently, like, as a couple. And not that I didn't think that they were a couple, I just think that in the realm of almost a Tom and Ariana, like, they're creating a brand for themselves, like, together kind of thing. So it's like, oh, Carl and Lindsay, yes, they are getting married. Yes, they are a couple. Yes, they are together. They're doing all these things. But they also see themselves as, like, a business.
Mm-hmm.
And that they would, like, get married and try and figure everything out. And this is just my own personal opinion of how I've watched them and how, like, my opinion of how I think their relationship is. Could be totally wrong. But it's not, you know, it's not crazy now looking back and thinking, like, how people were like, ooh, is this all happening really fast? Like, what's going on? I don't know. I just feel like Carl may have jumped into this all, and now it's all hitting him like that. Maybe he's got to slow it down a little bit.
Yeah, maybe.
Because weirdly enough, most times when you would think when a couple calls off an engagement, in my mind, I'd be like, oh, there's no coming back from that. You know?
Mm-hmm.
With them, I could kind of see, like, down the line, them being together.
I don't know if he ended things on camera for the first time when they were going to get married.
No, yeah, it's true.
Maybe they're just not it for each other.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just not it.
I do feel bad for Lindsay. Like, if this really did go down like that, and if she didn't know, and this all happened just, like, on camera, that fucking sucks.
That sucks. Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
That's such a private moment.
Yeah.
It's like, if that was the first time, you know, I would assume that maybe there was conversations leading up to that, because I don't know if that just happens for the first time like that. But man, I mean, we're going to have to know more details, but I think we will get them with BravoCon coming up. Summer House won't air for a while, but that cast.
And there will be more.
People are going to.
There will be more
talking.
stories coming out for sure.
Definitely.
Other people will start talking, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Lindsay says something herself. So
one of them's going to have to.
Yeah. Crazy.
While we're on the topic of Bravo couples, Kyle Richards and Mauricio. It's another. Are they together? Are they not together? I think that they are trying to be together still, but there's got to be something underlying there.
I know. I'm just so confused because everybody reported that they were divorcing, right? And then Kyle and Mauricio put out a statement that they're not divorcing. Right? Like that's like basically what they said. But every news outlet still talks about them like they're split up. So I'm like, so are they split up and they're just spending all this family time together? They're going on trips, like this whole thing. So TMZ posted an article that says, Kyle Richards, I'm having a tough time over splitting with my husband. Kyle Richards is opening up about her separation from longtime hubby Mauricio, admitting it's been, quote, very hard. During her Q&A on an Amazon Live Wednesday, Kyle went on to explain she and Mauricio are still in love and continue to co-parent their 4 kids. She said, obviously, we care about each other a lot. You saw, here we are on vacation together. They were just in Europe. And TMZ wrote, as we reported, Kyle and Mauricio separated last month after 27 years of marriage. Despite admitting they've been going through a rough year together, they both denied the rumors that they were getting a divorce. We've also seen them hang out with the rest of the family during their vacay. So it's like,
I think they're trying to make it work. I think that.
So that's what I'm saying. Is it like, but the way that all these news articles are like, we reported that they are split up. It's like, are they split up?
Well, I think they were saying that they reported they split up, but they denied it. I think that when it comes to Beverly Hills housewives, they are the kind of housewives that need everything to look perfect. So say Kyle and Mauricio were struggling. They don't want anyone to know that. They want to look like, oh no, we're completely fine, happy family, we're good. Like, that's just so Beverly Hills for them to not want people to think that they're having any problems.
Yeah.
They could very well be having issues and they're still together. That's what I think this is. Right. I think that there's been talks of, are we going to stay together? Are we not going to stay together? I think that's probably what it is. But we know at Beverly Hills, they just want to seem perfect on the outside and they're going to shut that down. Meanwhile, the truth is they probably are maybe struggling a little bit. Yeah. They are probably maybe having a little bit of problems. But I don't think they're fully divorced or getting a divorce. I think we would know that for sure.
I just like to have a conversation with Kyle. Like,
about what?
Just like, what are you doing? Like, what's the Morgan Wade stuff? Like, even if you guys are friends, you can be the best of friends. Like, she did that, or she did her music video. Yeah. They were like love interest in the music video. It's like, clearly you're feeding into what everybody is talking about.
Yeah, now you're playing into
gossip. It. Like, you're like, oh, like leaning into it. It's like, but you're also trying to, are you trying to work on your relationship with Mauricio? Are you just trying to work on being co-parents and you are separated? I'm just confused. I don't really know like what direction she's headed in,
She's probably more confused than you are.
Yeah, my guess.
Moving on. This is just exciting news. I'm excited about this because I didn't get to go to the concert, but Taylor Swift, her Eras tour will be in movie theaters. The movie is over 2 hours. It's almost 3 hours. It's going to be in theaters October 13th. I'm very excited for this. As somebody who didn't get to go to the show, I will be attending the movie in the theater.
Think you'll be able to get tickets?
That's what I'm nervous about. Like, I'm nervous I won't even be able to get tickets for the movie.
So now I'm confused because I was seeing people report that this is happening. This is like a one day only thing? That can't be possible.
Could be.
I hope not.
There's definitely no way you're getting tickets.
Well, Gia tweeted that there's already a queue on the AMC website to buy tickets.
Oh my gosh, I'm never going to be able to see it.
Just put it online.
I'm never going to be able to see it. Stream it. I want to watch.
Well,
I'm so interested in the making of this whole tour.
Taylor loves the chaos.
Okay, there's no way. It says starting October 13th, you'll be able to experience the concert film in theaters in North America. So it's got to be longer than that.
You think it's just gonna be like it's a mashup of like all her shows?
What do you mean?
Like, is she taking from like all of the shows on the tour, like, or is it just one show?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I'm
assume-
sure she was filming a lot of it.
Is it like
Only in theaters in
North?
North America beginning in October 13th. Let's see if I click on AMC Theater to get tickets. Yeah, it puts me into a queue. All these theaters close say almost full, almost full, almost full, almost full.
Already. It's crazy.
Oh man. Let's see, my local theater, 7:30 p.m. Oh, there's not a single seat available. Good luck. I don't know.
I may have to watch it when it gets to
Yeah. It'll make its rounds
Bootleg.
eventually. Yeah, right. Get somebody to rip it for you.
yeah.
This might be the only way. I mean, genius idea, obviously.
It is.
It's another
It's gonna be so
way
cool.
for her to continue to support the economy because she's just done
Continue to
nothing
make
but
money.
get people spending money.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody who even went to the show probably would love to go see it again in the movie theater. I would love to go see it again. What a party. You know, like I feel like, how do you even do that in a movie theater? I feel like everybody's gonna be up like dancing.
Well,
You're gonna like sit and lounge in your seat.
Before with people.
It absolutely has, but I just feel like this will be different. Like the Swift, you're gonna get like 75 Swifties in a movie theater. They're all just gonna sit reclined, watching. No way. Although I can't tell if I'd be really annoyed or like be enjoying.
it.
You just have to buy into what everybody's
Yeah.
doing. You know, if everybody's like up dancing like and singing, you just got to get into it. You can't be the one being like, "Shut up!"
Right, like, oh, I'm trying to watch the movie. The music's good.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm definitely interested in that. I think it's a great idea.
Yep.
And of course, it's going to sell out like our concerts.
Yep.
Last topic before we get into the weekly watch report. The Golden Bachelor cast has been revealed. I'm loving it. I'm super excited for this season. And Matt James's mom will be a contestant.
I'm so excited for her. Such a great idea. Obviously, you know, the process was a bumpy road for Matt, but it did end up working out in the end. So I hope it works for her.
Right.
The whole cast was announced. A bunch of beautiful ladies.
Oh my gosh.
Like, classic, stunning ladies. You know?
I am eating this up.
Absolutely eating it up.
Eating up the
all
contestants.
the
on
videos
the
too.
show.
Like the videos of them, all of them, it cuts to all of them. They're being like, what do you love to do? Pickleball. Everybody's talking about pickleball.
Right. It's amazing. I mean, I feel like this is going to be so good. It's
It is.
interesting.
I
We've never
know.
seen it before.
I'm very excited.
Justice for Emily Moynes.
Major justice for Emily Moynes. Emily, we wish you were part of this cast. You know, I don't know how serious she was about going on, but she was like jokingly posting on her story that she was told she was too young to go on, which absolutely sucks. I mean, you know,
It's a great compliment to get.
Great compliment,
Or not,
but
you know,
I wish-
there's worse problems out there.
I wish we got to see her on. I really do.
Yeah, she's just got a great personality.
She's great. She's a character. She would have been
really
so
is.
good.
But we are going to watch Matt James' mom. That will be very exciting.
Very exciting.
The other ladies, like the whole cast, I'm excited for. I'm excited for Gary.
I know.
I'm excited for it all.
You know what's funny is there's a woman on there that's from Summit, New Jersey. It's a town over for me. It's where my cousins live. And we texted my aunt to be like, hey, any idea who this woman is? Like, instead of texting, like, it's funny now because you would see people close who would text, oh my God, you went to college with this person.
Yeah.
Like, who is- I'm texting my aunt being like,
You know her?
you seen this lady around town? You guys ever play racquetball together?
Yeah.
Like, any idea?
She
She
had
doesn't
any
know,
of the
but she
yoga
would-
sessions.
She didn't know right away, but she said she was gonna do some digging.
Wow, that's hilarious.
Get the ladies on it.
She's got to hit Facebook.
They'll find out so fast. Nobody will find out info faster than like the town ladies.
A couple of New Jersey Facebook moms.
Yeah, exactly. Super exciting though.
It's gonna be really good, this
I am.
show.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch.
Very excited. Okay, that wraps up the topics.
Sure does.
Chicks in the Office is sponsored by BetterHelp. Sometimes we're faced with a crossroads in life and we don't know which path to take. Maybe you're thinking about a career change or feeling like your relationships, your friendships just need some nice, tender love and care. Whatever it is, therapy can help you map out your future and trust yourself to find the way forward. Sometimes you get confused, your head gets all mixed up, you don't know where to turn, and sometimes you just need somebody to talk to, and that's where BetterHelp can help you out. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Let therapy be your map with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/office today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com/office to get 10% off your first month. All right, let's get into the weekly watch report where we talk about the things we watched this week. Woo-hoo. Woo-hoo. So I watched Sex and the City movie 1 and 2.
Oh, so you saw Miley's cameo?
Yes.
In the second movie.
The first one is just so much better than the second.
Yeah, the first one's way better.
I will rate the first.
They made a third one, didn't they?
Did they? I only know of the first and second.
Did they make a third Sex and the City movie? Check. Fact check. I think they did. I remember seeing like a movie poster with a giant 3. Am I totally making that up? I'm not seeing it. Oh, then I'm making it up. I'm just picturing the movie poster with the giant 2.
Probably.
Because that's the Sex and the City 2 had the giant 2.
I see what you're saying though.
Yeah.
I see it in my brain. So the first
Sex and the City 2.
Yeah, the first one is just classic for me.
Yeah.
But like it's still like, Carrie, how do you end up with Big? Like he left you.
Right.
But whatever.
Well, I mean, that's why people have been tuning into And Just Like That.
Right. It's like it's so bad, but you can't look away.
It's so bad, but people are so locked into these people's storylines that they need to know what happens to them.
I'm gonna give Sex and the City first movie a B+.
Okay.
I'm gonna give the second one, just to be nice to my gals, a C-.
Yeah.
But I don't.
The first movie is that famous scene where she's like yelling at him in the street.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, throws the whole thing.
Like,
Yep.
And then I watched The Ultimatum. 4 episodes.
We both did. We both watched the same amount of episodes as well.
Yes, we did. And we didn't plan on that.
No, we
Just
didn't.
happened.
Just happened.
This season is really good.
Bonkers.
It's really good.
These people are nuts.
Nuts. It's better than the first one.
Yeah. I'm more locked in than the first one.
I'm giving this a B+.
Yeah.
I don't even know where to begin because I also don't want to spoil it for people because it just came out. But I am stunned.
But the whole season's already out. Like, I think we're actually a little late to the game.
I'm actually excited to get home and watch the rest of it.
Like, I think people might be mad at us that we haven't finished the whole show yet, you know, because you know you're in for something good when you post on your story. Like, I post on my story about Lisa, like, in the second episode. And when I looked into my DMs, the amount of people that I could see just wrote, just wait, or like, oh my God, just wait. Like, so many messages. I was like, ooh, this is when I know I'm in for something crazy and that everybody else has already watched.
I can't get enough of it. I can't believe, like, I didn't want to go to sleep last night, but I fell asleep watching it. There is just too much to unpack here. None of the people picked their original people from what I've seen so far, like to live with and do a trial marriage. I'm like really just blown away by all of this. I'm not, because I put it on, and at first when I put it on, I was like, how can you recreate magic? You know, the first season was good. How can you recreate this kind of magic?
Yeah.
And sure enough, I mean, the bomb that was dropped, that she was pregnant.
Know what? Yeah. I was gonna throw a spoiler.
Sorry.
Totally fine. I think at this point, like I said though, like, we're gonna talk about it, so it's totally fine. Now we can talk about it.
Yeah.
And honestly, it happens in like the second episode.
Stunning. Absolutely stunning turn of events. You go on a show.
I know.
You go on a show where your partner, you're not sure they want to marry you. Which, by the way, the premise for the show is so fucked up in general.
Yeah.
The fact that anybody signs up for this, you probably shouldn't be together anyway. Yeah. But, you know, this is life and it's reality TV.
Yep.
To then go on the show and say you're pregnant.
Also, and to have the absolute hissy fit that she had in that parking lot about Brian talking to Raya, is her name?
Raya.
Was so hurtful, like Lisa does not know this woman and just fully judged her because she's like a very pretty young girl and just ripped her apart, like making fun of her job, making fun of her, basically saying she's an idiot. Like, oh, like you're not challenging yourself talking to her. Like she's fucking tits and ass. Like just vile, like vile behavior where she just makes herself look so bad.
Yeah. And then the next episode.
My antenna is up big time on this one. And I don't know, we don't know what happens because we've only watched 4 episodes. So we'll see. But like, convenient timing to go on a show where you want to pressure somebody to marry you and now all of a sudden you're pregnant.
I didn't want to be the one to say it, but part of me was like, is she pregnant?
Now hand up. If she really is pregnant,
we apologize.
I apologize. I wish her happiness and healthiness, you know, especially like, you know, bringing a baby is a very serious thing.
Absolutely.
But it would not be the first time that somebody has used pregnancy to trap somebody.
Absolutely.
And the way she was behaving made me think that was a move she would pull.
Right.
Especially because
too fast of like
100%
freak out, and then the next episode it was like, and I'm pregnant, and it
was a very suspect thing that she said too in her interview afterwards. Like she was like, "Ooh, I kind of thought like this would
get him to
change his mind." Like the way she said it just made me think, I don't know about this one.
You should have seen my face. Because I was like, you know when you watch a show and you're like on your phone a little bit? Like there's some shows that you do both at once.
Nick Lachey dropped that bombshell.
I dropped my phone and was like, what? Are you serious?
And I also feel like it really did send a shock through the rest of them because it totally fucked up who the other people were going to pick. You know, that just completely eliminated 2 people where I felt like Brian and Raya may have been leaning towards each other, and Lisa and Trey may have been leaning. Like I just felt like that totally spun it around where now you really only have one choice because I felt like the other 2, Roxanne and I'm spacing on all their names, like they swapped also, where it was like that. Like I didn't think anybody was gonna jump into that one, but the other 2 could have been mixed more.
Thoughts on the Roxanne swapping situation?
I'm a little confused by Roxanne. Like, I get it. You're a career woman. Like, I totally respect that. But it's the only thing she's talked about.
And she said she could talk about business all day. And then I'm blanking on his name because I watched all the episodes so fast that I'm like blanking on the names.
Richard,
the guy she's now with.
Oh, his name is Alex.
Okay, Alex.
But her original boyfriend is... No, I feel like it was an R name also.
Well, Roxanne and Alex, they go to Alex's parents. And Roxanne was like, yeah, I could just talk about business all day. And the parents are like, all right, well, you can't. That's not a relationship. You can't talk about business all day long. And then the parents were like, kind of like, all right, maybe you too. She can't. I was stunned because they don't know this person at all.
Yeah.
And for Alex, it seemed like he's in on marriage. He wants to get married. He sees himself as a partner, but
her reaction to that was like weird to me too. She's like, you're just showing me so much that you can be career driven and also want marriage. Like, it's like, wait, what? Like,
yeah, I think she's confused about what she wants, but
at the end of the day, doesn't it just always seem like they just don't like their partner that much?
That is what it is. Like, I'm sorry, I hate to break it to you.
And sometimes it has happened. Like after the first season, remember the couple that they did like the dating, and then they were like, "Oh, this is so not for us." Like, and he like proposed at the choice.
Yeah,
it's like that's I think when you realize like, oh wait, you actually are the one I want to be with. Like sometimes. It just feels like
they
don't like each other.
Yeah, it just feels like this. It shouldn't take this to make you open your eyes. But so be it for these people. But with
which
Alex,
is why Lisa,
he's like oh my God, the way that his ears perk up when she compliments him in his business.
I know.
Like, she was like, you're a businessman. He was like, yep. I'm like, all right. Like, guys who just need their ego fed. Yes, I'm a businessman. I'm an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Like, we get it, Alex.
Yeah.
Okay. And like, you're so much better than her other guy who actually seems like a nice guy.
Yeah, he does.
And like when he was explaining that, you know, he was stuck in a rut and he like,
I just think it's so unfair too to like, I don't know.
Sometimes you're just not compatible.
Yeah, exactly. And if that like business ambition is the word she kept using, ambition. If that ambition is such a deal breaker for you, then he's just not the right match for you. Like, I just think it's very unfair to continue to critique him. And I still am spacing on his name, and I don't want to Google it because I don't want to see spoilers. When, you know, he was saying when they met, like he was working at McDonald's, but like he's transitioned into other jobs and doing other things. Like, if you're going to judge him on that for like forever, what are you doing? You know? If that's like such a big deal to you.
Like, at the end of the day, some of these people, and listen, we're getting a great show out of it.
Yeah.
But some of these people just need to realize just because you're comfortable does not mean you need to be with this person. Like, you're just settling at this point. You clearly are not in love with them. There's so many things you're not compatible on different levels.
Are you paying too much for your wireless plan? Straight Talk just introduced the new Straight Talk multi-line plan where more lines mean more savings. Just $25 a line per month when you get 4 lines with unlimited data, talk, and text all on nationwide 5G, plus no contracts, no hidden fees, and no compromises. So once again, if you are paying too much for your wireless plan, check out Straight Talk. They just introduced the new Straight Talk multi-line plan where more lines mean more savings. So like I said, $25 a line per month when you get 4 lines with unlimited data, talk, and text, all on nationwide 5G, plus no contracts, no hidden fees, and no compromises. That's the Straight Talk talkin' from Straight Talk Wireless, available at Walmart and Walmart.com. Once again, Straight Talk Wireless, available at Walmart and Walmart.com. Raya, I feel bad for because I do think she has a lot of, like, I don't think necessarily it's that she doesn't love Trey and why she's afraid to get married. I think she has more trauma and like more inner fear and insecurity about herself, like talking about her childhood. She opened up about getting pregnant. Like, I think like that's where like that conversation like made me so sad where she was like, well, what if I don't want kids? And it kind of seemed like maybe that stemmed from the experience that she had. Like, does she want to put herself through that again? It felt like there was a lot of more inner issues of why marriage is so scary to her and less like,
right,
it's because of him.
Yes.
You know?
Which is a totally different story.
Totally different story. Because sometimes it seems very clear that it's just like not the right person. Yeah. And sometimes it's like, okay, you have more of a inner issue with the idea of marriage and that kind of commitment, which is where I feel like maybe she was at. But they got us locked in.
I'm definitely locked in. I'm giving that a B+. And that's what I watched.
I'll jump in for my grade on the ultimatum then. I'll give that a B+ as well, episodes 1 through 4 for both of us. I finished Love Island USA. Obviously, we got Hannah and Marco on the episode, so I felt like that ended totally the way it was supposed to as well.
So I started watching it, and then we found out who won, and we were going to be interviewing, and so I never got to fully finish it. But I was like, I got past Casa Amor, and
I hope it works for a lot of these couples. You know, there's been I don't know. We asked Hannah and Marco about it, but there's been rumors too about like people have been on Carmen and Kenzo because they're actually both they actually both live in Scottsdale. And they're like, you know, they do like, oh my God, like we live like 10 minutes from each other. Like, how have we never met? And the people were like, ooh, like we think you actually may have
known each
they
other,
may have known
yeah.
each other, like whatever. And if that's the case, America felt that way clearly because they finished
Sniffed it out.
4th. So
Yeah.
but I hope that these couples make it work. They all left boyfriend girlfriend. Like it's kind of like a legit thing where I hope that they actually really try and make it work. So I thought the whole season was a good season. I will give the Love Island USA season a B as a whole, just as my finishing grade. I watched. What did I watch? Oh, I watched the last 2 episodes of. I was catching up. The last 2 episodes of Hard Knocks, which I love, enjoy. It's been great. People are really invested in the Jets, obviously, so it's just been an interesting insight into what's been going on there. We're getting to that part of the season where like the people get cut, and like that always makes me sad because it's just like, God, these guys work so hard, and it's just like it's sad. But I've very much been enjoying it. I'll give that a B as well. Good stuff. And I kind of think that's it. You know what's really on my watch list that I have not watched is the Adam Sandler movie with his daughter.
I
saw that.
It got really good reviews.
It got really good reviews.
I was shocked. I'm like, this can't be real.
I've seen everybody talking about it. I really want to watch it. I haven't had the time to watch it yet, but I'm putting that on my watch.
You're not invited
list.
to my bat mitzvah.
You're still invited to my
that's
bat
on
mitzvah.
Netflix.
Yeah.
Yep.
I really want to watch it. I just like haven't had was not having the time to watch it yet. But that's all I watched this week.
I pretty much only watched Suits this week. Are you done, by the way?
I watched Suits also.
I haven't had the time to like really dive into Suits.
I'm
I mean,
more
like I'm
into it.
obviously watching it, but
I'm more into it. I forgot because we didn't do this last week. I think I've watched 10 episodes now.
who's your fave?
I'm liking it for sure. Probably Harvey.
I'm a Harvey gal.
Yeah, I think Harvey's
I'm
my
a Mike guy.
Yeah. I like
I'm such a Harvey
Yeah,
gal.
yeah, me too.
Like, look at me, I'm smiling.
Yeah.
Really? He kind of sometimes is like, fuck this guy.
No, I just kind of like that. I don't know. I like that. I like
There's
his, I like his ego.
There's
same.
There's nothing about me that says like fuck Harvey.
Yeah, no.
Well, what season are you? Where did you leave
I'm
off?
still on 3.
Yeah, because now I'm in 4. A lot's happened. Okay, you're not fully caught up.
I've only watched up to 10 episodes, so that's where I'm at. But I will say I've definitely jumped more into it than I like initial jump. But I have liked it. It is really like a good show to put on just to like chill and watch and like you're invested, but you're not like
It's nothing groundbreaking.
Yeah, exactly.
But
It's not you don't need to like fully be paying attention, kind of thing too. So
yeah, so I'm on season 4. I'll give it a B plus. Like it's very entertaining. Like
solid.
I'm the fact that I've gone to season 4, like it's like I like it enough to keep watching it.
Yeah, and there's a lot of seasons.
Yeah, and it is like I don't feel like I have to be like watching every second of it. I rewatched Oppenheimer. I went to the movie theaters with my family when I was on the Cape and rewatched it.
You wasted your time like that?
I mean, it is just like a great
No, I'm kidding.
movie.
I'm kidding. I haven't even seen it.
This time around, I was kind of like, I caught myself being bored because I'm like, I've already seen this. Like,
it's hard.
and it's long.
Yeah,
it's long.
It's a hard repeater.
So that's tough.
Oh, you know what I did in the theater?
It's tough, like also to go see it again in the theater. It's another thing to watch it again, like at home when you can like get up and walk around or pause it or like it's like when you actually go sit in the theater and like fully have to watch and like can't be sitting on your phone in the movie theater.
3 hours,
like that's harder.
In the movie theater on the Cape that we go to, they like serve alcohol there, and so I was like, I'm bored. Like I'm gonna go get a beer, like in the middle of the movie.
Oh, you were bored in the middle of the movie?
I've already seen it. So I went, got a beer, and then I'm coming back, and it's like dark. We were in the back row. It was like dark, and I forgot that there was
like
a little ledge like thing, like
little
to
step?
step up, and
Did you fall?
I walked like right into it and poured beer all over this person's legs.
No. I feel like you're always dropping everything at the movie theater.
And I just was like, sorry.
You have some bad movie etiquette.
Also, I was sitting right next to him. It was just like,
awkward.
Oh, and beer is tough too.
Did
like,
you run and get him some napkins?
No.
Oh,
I don't
my
know.
God.
I don't know if he acted like he didn't like start like cleaning his legs. I don't know if he wanted to make it seem like he just didn't know, or like, but I saw it go all over his legs. But yeah, I'll give, A- still to Oppenheimer. Like, just a great movie. And then we watched the documentary on HBO called After the Bite, which is about sharks on Cape Cod, which we just thought was fitting.
Timely.
And from the title and the trailer, you would think sharks are killing everyone on the Cape. And I didn't and you do kind of feel that way. There's signs every beach. But apparently there's only been one death from a shark in the last 80 years on the Cape. So I'm like, what? Like, what's the big deal everyone's making about? Like, sharks are around.
You have to be. I think it's just an abundance of caution. You know, you got to have the signs up because there are a lot of fucking sharks at the Cape.
But like,
they'll sneak up on you.
It happened to one kid a couple years ago. He died, but it's like 1 out of 80 years. That's pretty good. Like,
yeah, no, it's
when you put it like that, I'm not as scared. But there are a lot of sharks. Like,
yeah.
But that's it. That's all I got.
All right. That's the PSA about the sharks, the Cape.
Do you have a grade for the documentary? Or
I'll give it a C because it was like nice to see parts of the Cape that we were familiar with. And it's like, they're here, or whatever. Yeah. Like, but it is like, what's the point of all this? Like, like it turned into like more about the seals than the sharks, and like there's too many seals or like all this stuff. Like people were hunting seals.
That's what you have to look out for.
Did you know
that? Like if you're in the water and you see a ton of seals hanging out, get out of the water.
That's why people were saying
bad news.
A while ago, you'd see like maybe a couple seals a summer. Now like
there's
every
so
single
seals.
time you go there, there's a seal. Like
you're
and
swimming
that's
what the sharks are. Those are.
But I didn't
shark
realize
bait.
They said in the documentary that for a while fishermen were like hunting seals, like killing seals because the seals were eating all the fish that they were trying to get. So they were like killing the seals. So it's a whole thing. But I
don't really like the sound of that.
No. Yeah, but I was like, what is like? I thought I was gonna be watching shark attacks, and it was just like, oh, yeah, there's some sharks out there, like, but.
Oh, Noah.
This wasn't the documentary you wanted.
He's like, damn, I really wish more people were getting bitten by sharks, huh?
There's probably more shark things that you could look into that will fulfill that.
Yeah, I think
there's a whole week dedicated to sharks.
My standards are high after Chimp Empire.
It's probably it.
Fair.
Yeah. You need a reality show about the sharks.
Yeah.
All right, that's everything we watched this week.
All right, let's get into our interview with Hannah and Marco from Love Island. But first, we're headed into the holiday weekend. It is time to chill. I think the end of summer comes around. Everybody's relaxing, soaking in those last moments. They're thinking about maybe when they got to go back to school, or, maybe you've had some vacation time. You're fully going back to work. Maybe you're dreaming about the day that you'll eventually get to retire and enjoy all the freedoms that come with it. But who says we have to wait decades before we get to kick back and chill out? Take advantage of that free will and spend the rest of the summer chilling like a retiree, and pair those moments with Coors Light, the beer that's made to chill. Pairs well with that retired state of mind. The mountains on the bottles and cans even turn blue when your beer is cold, so you know when it's time to grab another. It's perfect for all those plans or lack thereof. No judgment here. It's a long weekend. Maybe you're doing absolutely nothing. Maybe you got a big weekend plan. Maybe you're headed to Nashville. You're headed to the bars. You can have a nice cold Coors Light at the bar. Maybe you're headed to the beach. You're packing a cooler. Get those Coors Light in there, ready to go. Soak up that sun. Chill out. Relax. So this summer, chill like you're retired with Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door with Drizzly or Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/chicks. And always celebrate responsibly from Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. All right, everyone, we are here with two very special guests. We have the Love Island USA 2023 winners, Hannah and Marco, here on Zoom. We're excited to talk to you guys. How are you doing? Is it just like absolute love bubble right now?
Yeah, it really is. Honestly, we touched down in LA like 2 days ago, and it's just been crazy busy. Went to Disneyland right after getting back. That was a lot. And then the culture shock is real too, like just being back in society. It's a lot of emotions, but it's been great. Like the support coming out has been amazing. Right now we're spending time with family. And yeah, it's just been great to be with him on the outside for sure.
Yeah, I definitely there's always that honeymoon phase you're worried about. Like I said, we spent 6 weeks together, nonstop, 24/7, not being able to like leave or go anywhere else. So I thought that honeymoon phase, would start to dwindle out, and it has. But like the love has continued, to grow stronger and stronger from our little late night Walmart runs, going to Disneyland and just showing, people what it's like for like being enjoyment on their end. We had a lot of people come up to us and just say they had so much fun watching us, and we helped them get through hard times. We had a lady say that she got a little emotional. She had a rough week with her family, had some news about a family member going into the hospital, and said that she would just watch Love Island to get through it. And she started breaking down. So I thought that was truly special to be part of that, and just put out a positive message to everybody.
Yeah, I think that's the best part about Love Island is that you really start to get to know you guys and you're tuning in so much. It's so often. When you were leaving the villa, what was the top priority? What was the first thing on your mind? Like, this is the first thing I'm doing when I get out of here.
To call my mom. It was just crazy to get our phones back. So yeah, called family, but then Chipotle was like a priority
Oh,
too.
we had to kill Chipotle.
It was so good too. Like,
I bet.
Yes.
yeah. So that was a priority.
Family was definitely the first priority.
Yeah.
It still is our priority. We got to make our rounds. So we're in Palm Springs right now, California. Then I'm going to head to Florida where I'm at with my friends and family. Then I'm going to go up to Ohio where I'm from. But yeah, so first priority getting out of the villa was definitely to call my parents, check in on life. What did we miss? There's been a lot of news flashed through the past couple months, and we had no idea. She had a hurricane.
Yeah, we had a hurricane
in the desert.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah.
And an earthquake in the same day in California. That did happen.
Oh, hell, just.
Yeah. Like, what did we miss in Fiji in the middle of nowhere?
I think that you, like, as a viewer, you forget that you guys don't even get news. Like, you don't know what's happening over there.
Nah, we tried to get stuff too out of like the talent managers, producers. Like, so is there any like gossip? Nah, they wouldn't tell us.
What's happening in the pop culture world?
Yeah.
Nothing.
I know. We had Maura Higgins on our show a couple of weeks ago, and she was joking too that contestants were like, hey, can you tell us anything? Like anything on the outside world? What's going on?
We would love just the time once in a while.
Yeah.
Just the time. That's it. Couldn't even get that. We're trying to sneak Apple Watch like looks, trying to see, on producer's wrist. Can't get anything.
That is so crazy to me. We've talked about this before. It's just like, I don't know why, but like not knowing the time of day would just be so disorienting.
Mm-hmm. Did you start to get to know it a little bit, or you just up in the
reading
air
a sundial?
Yeah.
We were there so long that it was wintertime, so it kept changing. The sun kept going down quicker, and then it started to get brighter later at night. So it was impossible.
But then like Harrison, who's on the show, he'd be like, I'm guessing it's about 9-10 a.m. right now. like, how do you even know? Like, we would guess just like for fun, but yeah, no.
That
no
is
idea.
crazy.
Especially in Fiji.
Yeah. So you guys really were together for a majority of the season. You made it all the way to the end. I want to ask you guys, what were your first initial impressions of each other when you first met in the villa?
Okay, so mine of Marco was very different. So first, I'll say first impression. I was attracted to him. He's definitely my type. I said in my interviews, tall, athletic, funny. So
6'3", solid, stealing sex.
but I walked in. Yeah, that was his thing. So I walked in, he's just staring at me, like, just smiling. He's just giddy. So I was like trying not to look at him, and like I was like, I don't know if I want to like steer clear. I thought he was like giving like little player vibes. And then when I was in the villa, he was coupled up with a girl already on the first day. So, you're in the dressing room, girls are talking about everything, and people were talking about him and like their impression of him. So when I chose to steal him, that was my job as a bombshell. I really had to like block out the noise because everyone was kind of talking shit about him. So I was like, all right.
I was gonna say, who chewed you out at the beginning? Destiny?
Who do you think?
Yeah, I was definitely Destiny. But I was like, and I'm sure Destiny was not holding back in the dressing room either.
No, exactly. And I'm just sitting there awkwardly like, okay, like just putting my mascara on, like, well, all right. But hey, he's nice to me. So I really had to just block that out and make my decision. And I'm so happy I did because like, yeah. So every time someone came in, I gave them that advice. I'm like, don't listen to what other people are saying. Like, do you based off what you feel. So it worked out for me.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of viewers out there, that will watch this show. In the beginning, all the guys are asked their type, and I was kind of annoyed, when I was sitting in my first guys chat, we were going around like, "What's your type?" They sit there like, "I don't really have a type. Everybody's beautiful." Like, that's bullshit, dude. You have a type. You got to. We're here. You got to have something. So when they asked me my type, I was like, tan skin, brown hair, athletic, great smile. Those were the things that I wanted to say as my type. And when I saw her walk in the second day out of the hideaway doors, I think I jumped out of my seat, ran to the door, gave her the biggest hug, kiss on the cheek, didn't even say one word in our first conversation, just smiled at her. And she chose somebody else. So that hurt. That hit low. I was upset. I can't lie.
Just for the date.
Just a date. Just a date.
Yeah.
So then, yes, you finally do connect. When did you guys have a moment that you thought like this is really something that could work? Does it happen way faster than you think? Obviously, everything is sped up in the villa.
Yeah, for sure. Like, honestly, I think it was a couple days in. So to be honest, me and Marco, we don't really open up easily to anybody. So, but he opened up to me about his past, and then I felt like, oh wow, okay, like this is something that I like. And then I opened up to him. So I want to say it was like our first chat you opened up like 2-3 days in. I was like, okay, so there is more to him.
She called me out on the first chat though that I wasn't opening up.
Yeah.
So and this is my first time talking to her. I was a little nervous and stuff. Still, when I look at her, I get nervous. She's so beautiful. So, but I got a little nervous. And my next chat, I kind of smoothed some things out, and I went to like in depth about my family, where I'm from, kind of my past. So it began to get better. But like I said, I knew right away, from the second I laid my eyes on her, I knew just her energy, her smile. Obviously, I'm attracted to her. I just knew that I wasn't going to let another guy interfere that connection. And so I was competing. It's a competition in Love Island, but I wasn't competing for anything besides competing for her heart the whole time. And that's all I worried about every single day, was proving myself to her. Especially when you start off on a rough start, real rough start. So it was hard to fight back, but we did it.
Now, speaking of your past, obviously as a viewer, everybody gets excited to watch Casa more, but when you're in the villa, I bet it's, very anxiety inducing. You don't know what's going to happen there. And Marco, we saw that your ex came in, but you shot that down. What was the initial reaction? And are you like, damn, they really did me like that? Like they're going to bring my ex?
Sabotage.
Yeah, my initial reaction was it's kind of lame, to be honest. I was like, she capitalized on her opportunity. I mean, her name's Hannah. She's Hannah. I could see how, she did that, but man, I don't know if I would fly across the country to know a door shut. It was an ex-situationship. I never even took her on a date. Never told her I liked her. But
damn, she's getting roasted.
Yeah,
says this to her too.
I say yeah.
He's very.
But it's just it is what it is. I mean, way to capitalize. I'm a business mind. I thought that was an amazing time for her to really pull her strings. She did it. Right. She got in there.
Right.
Love Island.
And I was so pissed.
She did couple up with somebody.
She did, yeah, but I wasn't mad about that.
Yeah.
What was I about to say?
I don't know.
Shit.
Yeah, but you know what?
You said you were so pissed.
Yeah. I was just pissed that it happened like that. Especially because we had a boys chat before, and I was fired up. I was like, Kenzo was like, "See, Marco, if you sleep outside, you're good to the Lord. You pray. God's going to bless you. The universe is going to bring you guys back together quicker than you thought." And we're all excited. I'm fired up. And then she walks in. I was just like, oh, my God, you got to be kidding me. That's Love Island, though.
Yep.
Hannah O is, Hannah O. And at that point, I said she needed to go.
Oh, man. Hannah, how did you feel during Casa More? Because I know that it's obviously stressful and like it's a weird balance of trying to be respectful, but also not just like completely closing yourself off to everybody. How did you feel doing it?
Yeah, so like honestly, going into Casa, like I was like, okay, this is part of the show. Like, I know it's going to happen. So I wasn't mad about Casa. I was like, oh, it'll be good for me and him. We have some time apart. It'll make us stronger. So when we're like 2 days in and I got that video, the least thing that that was the last thing I expected ever. And then it was just a lot in that moment, getting that video and the craziness of it. And I was strong though. I stood strong and I was like, okay, well, I know how I feel, but I'd be lying if I didn't feel like sabotaged. I was like, okay, no one else is in this position but me. And then you think the worst. Okay, like he's told me one thing, but when exes are involved, it's a whole other situation. So I'm like, okay, if he goes back to his ex, like that's on him. Like I said what I said, but I definitely broke down a couple times and I was like, forget this. Like I want to get out of here, get back to the villa. So yeah, that was the hardest. And then to come back and to learn that it was like a situationship, like a fling, not even like a whole relationship.
Yeah, that relationship, play on words they did.
Yeah.
In the video, it was not easy for her to go through, especially when it wasn't even my girlfriend.
Right.
Never was my girlfriend. But like I said, business mind, I like it.
Yeah.
You got it. You got me. I don't really get the short end of the stick a lot, but I like it.
Yeah. There was so much drama this season. It was, from a viewer standpoint, entertaining to watch. But I know, Hannah, you kind of felt like a voice of reason to me for some of the other women. I think they would go to you a lot for advice, and that's a lot of what we saw. Because for me, I hope it all works out in the end. But watching KK and watching Cassie kind of like navigate those situations, in the moment you're like, ditch these guys. Like, what is happening? So how were you and the other women feeling? Because it's hard to kind of keep your opinions in when that stuff is happening.
Yeah, like I remember having a chat with like Carmen. I'm like, well, I'm not gonna waste my voice, you know what I mean? Like, you're coming to me for advice, and that's one thing that bothers me, when you ask me for something and then it just goes one ear out the other. I'm like, okay, then why do I get myself involved? Why do I take on your emotions and support you? So that was definitely hard for me this season. Like, yeah, because you get so close and you just want the best for the girls, but it comes to a point too where I had to protect my own peace. Like, nah, I'm not going to get involved if this is just going to be a circle of emotions for me too. So there was a point at the end where I was like, all right, I'm gonna take a step back after Casa. I was like, okay, me and Marco, there's like a clip of us. We're like, you want to talk to anyone today? We're like, no. You don't talk to no one.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy I did that, because I feel like it definitely made my experience different after I chose to do that. So it was a learning experience, but it was hard.
Yeah, I wouldn't change giving the advice either in my standpoint. Yeah. I know she wouldn't. But when you give it, and then kind of nothing's changing, there came a time where I just wanted to hang out with Hannah, and that's okay. We tried to give our voice of reason and try to let everybody know how to build a strong relationship in here. And one, you just think with your head and not something else, as a man. And then for a girl, you got to stick by it. You got to be, the powerful woman you are. You got to know your worth and stuff. And I was trying to tell KK, like, you got to know your worth. You got to know your worth. I told Anna all the time before she left, like, if your person's not here, know your worth. Don't force something. And that's why I have mad respect for Anna staying up and leaving when her only option was Bergie. She wasn't going to force it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And some people, stayed on the show to be with Bergie. So it worked out in the end, and I'm just happy about that.
Yeah, definitely. I think this is maybe like one of the first times, I don't know, I could be totally wrong, but it felt like the final four couples, it felt like everybody had put a label on their relationships. It felt serious, more serious than I think past seasons, where I'm like, I don't really,
especially
I don't
coming
really know.
off of UK.
Yeah, like
recently.
I don't really know like how this is going to work in the real world. And I think putting that like boyfriend, girlfriend label on it is obviously a big deal and shows that you want to actually make it work in the real world. Marco, I think everyone thought that maybe you were going to do it a little earlier than when you did, but I think Hannah, like you were joking. Yeah, you were like, he's jumping straight to marriage. She says we don't even need to do this, which is obviously funny, but I do think like it got to the point where I kind of forgot. Like in my mind, I was like, well, they're boyfriend, girlfriend. And then when it happened in like the last date, I was like, oh my God, I forgot he hasn't even asked her yet. So Marco, what made you wait so long?
Oh, Well, 5 days was full of just being nervous myself. I haven't had a girlfriend in probably 5 years now. I took a lot of time to myself to grow, within becoming a man from like the party boy I was, kind of that playboy that she initiated. We all been there, we had that party phase. So just being able to know my growth is seen in her eyes, and I am someone that I know I am, and I know she's on that same page is kind of the first check with her. Second thing is, one thing I wanted in this experience, I said in all the, pre-diagnosis of, Love Island, I need to find a girl with, that values family dynamic. So when I saw my family on the screen talk about Hannah more than they talked about me, I knew like she's the one. So I wouldn't even, it was about probably 4 or 5 days after family night that I asked her, I would say. Would that be about right? Maybe a week?
Yeah.
I said, we lose time in there. So,
yeah.
But, I had to make sure it was the right time. I had to make sure my dad approved, my sister approved, I sure and the help approved. So, and to know that she was ready, I felt right in the jungle at night, serenaded by a beautiful musician playing a guitar
Right.
in Fiji. I mean, at an unbelievable date. I was able to really lay my heart out there. And when I happened to realize after family night, I got really emotional about my mom. I saw, after I got off the show that I thought I wasn't even recording. I took off my mic and stuff, but it became a very vulnerable moment for me. And I just realized my mom sent me Hannah. And I prayed on it every day before I got in here. I read the Bible, every night before I go to sleep. And I just realized, one day it just caught up to me and I got really emotional that my mom sent Hannah. Just their name correlation when Hannah's mom came on, and, her name's Maria with the black hair, red lipstick, literally the same look as my mom. I was just blown away. Unbelievable. Yeah. I got chills thinking about it. And that's when I knew, my mom really sent this angel to me. So I'm going to take it.
It's really beautiful.
Best gift, sweet.
Yeah, best gift I've ever received.
Yeah,
100%.
Absolutely. That's really a sweet, very, very sweet sentiment. I'm very happy for you guys. And I do think that the viewers all felt that way as well, obviously, because you guys won. What was your thoughts going into the finale? Were you hopeful that you were going to win? Were you even thinking about it? It's a lot of money, It's like a big deal.
Yeah, I feel like going into it, this whole ride, we're like, okay, if it's our time to go, it's our time to go. Like, you really don't know what people think of you. To be honest, I thought my mouth would give you trouble. I thought I would get me voted off. So, and every day things change. There was a clip where it was me and Hannah O, and it was the dumping, and Sarah Hyland just said Hannah. So I stood up. I was like, all right, well, and she's like, Hannah O. I'm like, oh, okay. But anyway, so when we made it to the final, it was like, oh, wow, we're in the final. So that's great. We haven't been vulnerable once. So obviously I'm like, okay, so we're in a good position. But when we were up there in the final 2, I was like, oh, wow, this is happening. And then that's when I was like, okay, maybe we could win this. And I was just the shock of it all. It was just crazy. But yeah, you never know what people think.
Right.
Because things change so quick.
Yeah. What surprised you guys the most going into Love Island? Obviously you have your thoughts going into it, what you think it's going to be. What was something you took away that you were shocked by?
One thing? Wow. Yeah, there's
you can name a bunch.
Oh, man. Again, no time awareness, no idea of the day.
Yeah.
Your emotions are broadcasted 24/7 all day long. I fart when I sleep. That was known quite the amount of times. Pretty embarrassing. I can't even fart in peace.
Even when you're using the restroom.
When you're using the restroom everywhere.
Oh God.
And then we used to go in the shower so that no one could talk to us.
Under the water, you know?
So no one could hear us. We wake up the next morning, big ass mic right in the
Oh my God. They were like, you guys are not getting away with shit.
No.
And we tried. We tried. I'd be like, okay, let's go to the bathroom. Let's have a little chat. Nope. They'd be on us in 2 seconds. So I think that's what was hard. This really is 24/7
microscopic environment. That's the hardest part.
For sure. Yeah.
And then obviously when you go through hard times, the only people you want to talk to is your family.
Yeah.
And she became at that point my family. It was my best friend in there. It was the only girl I could talk to, where she already knew about where I come from, who I am. And when I have a day upset about my mom, she's the only one I can talk to. Yeah. And so and she's the only one I want to talk to. So we just really relied on each other, and moments like that.
Sure. You all created like great friendships too. I think people loved seeing the two of you specifically's love for Bergie, and individually your relationship with him, and as a couple your relationship with him. How did that evolve? Like, I think Bergie was having that male-female friendship that's just friendship can sometimes be difficult too, but you guys seem to have really connected.
Yeah, you want me to say one thing?
Yeah, go.
So from my point of view, I think having girl best friend is always, misconstrued. A lot of girls don't trust, the opposite guy, or a lot of guys don't trust their girl to have other guy friends. And I just thought that was a great example on how they were truly just good friends, could rely on each other. He could give her advice I couldn't. That's all I wanted to say. I think it was awesome they established, a co-ed bond that was one of the strongest in the villa. And if you ask any other girl in the villa, they can't really say they created that, Yeah. So to show that to USA, I think that's an amazing process.
Yeah, and like me and Bergie, I don't know, we're very different, but we just click. Like we think the same about things. So we'd be seeing stuff in the villa. Bergie'd be like, yeah, that's weird. And I'm like, yeah. And then like sometimes so we let Marco in our little group later, but then it'd be me and Bergie like thinking the same. Then Marco would be over here like, nah. And then me and Bergie would team up on Marco. We're like, no. Like, so me and Bergie, we think the same. It was so funny when I was away at Casa. I was like, okay, no matter what, I know I have Bergie there. He's going to keep it real with me and he's going to tell me what's what. Mm-hmm. And like, I appreciate that because he was like, he didn't care about the bro code type thing. Like he was just like, what's right is right, what's wrong is wrong. And I feel like I was similar with the girls. Like, okay, I have closer friends who are the girls, but I'm not just going to stick beside you just because if it's wrong. Yeah. So we both had like similar views on that, which is what I respect about him. And it's just crazy because we're very different backgrounds, very different like upbringings, but yeah, we just work. We're just friends. Yeah.
Sometimes the best friendships form that way. And like you said, like when people are like, when you're like, that's weird. And you can bond with someone over being like, yeah, I also think that's weird.
It's a great feeling.
Yeah.
For sure.
Bergie's change throughout the whole show was so inspiring. I know there's a little clip in the beginning, calling me a douchebag, or I called her a douchebag, but it was completely, I can't say much about it, but just know it was all friendship, manner in that sense. I've been Bergie's friend since day one. It was never, I started to build a friendship down the line. It was truly, that's kind of a little behind the scenes. We were always good friends from the first night. Every time in my life, I was part of a team, and he's my teammate, so I'm gonna hold him accountable. I'm gonna inspire him. I'm gonna know that there's better. You got to have confidence. You're Bergie.
Yeah.
Whether you're here, I'm here, we're all the same. We're both here. I helped them. We changed our closets. We interchanged our closets. We were wearing everybody's thing. I told him to grow facial hair. He didn't want to. Mattia really was the one to get him to do it because, Mattia got his beard lined by the barber and that was it. Didn't even get a haircut. And that's when Bergie was like, okay, I'm going to grow a beard. He just changed.
He has a chain now.
Yeah.
I know. Believe me, the next thing I was going to bring up was like, he obviously went through a lot of personal growth, but I felt like the physical things he changed like matched it. Like he looked kind of like he had a little baby face when he first started, and like and he ends with the girlfriend. He's got the beard, he's got the vibe. Like he definitely like got a little sexier for sure. Like I was like, okay, Bergie, like good for you. Like it totally matched, I think, his personal growth and like speaking up for himself and doing all that was honestly awesome. But I was really sad when Grandpa Bergie like kind of said that they thought like maybe it was a forced thing. Did anybody in the villa agree with what Grandpa Bergie was saying, or did you guys feel that connection with him and Taylor?
Yeah, at the time it was relatively new, so I know that was a thought in the back of our head just because how protective we are of Bergie.
Yeah.
We love Taylor to death. I told Hannah, when she came back from Costa, you're gonna love Taylor. Her sense of humor is outside of this room. She makes me laugh, and it's just like an unbelievable time together. But I was so protective on Bergie. It was so hard for me to accept that because I saw him get curved, not talked to, wouldn't even get pulled for a chat. Moments away from when Taylor, talked to him, Bergie came to me, is like, "Hey Marco, I'm done.
Yeah,
hey, I'm done. I'm not pulling any more girls for a chat. If they want to talk to me, they can come to me, but I'm spent. My tank's empty." And that's exactly when Taylor pulled him. So I think it was great timing. In the back of our head, we had a little doubt because that's our boy. We don't want him, played in the long run.
Yeah, like what solidified it to me that they were, because like I love Taylor as a person. Me and her from the jump, we clicked.
Yeah.
And so what solidified it for me was during family night when her mom said, I knew you'd go for Bergie. He's your type. I knew it. So, and that's her mom, and Taylor's mom, that's her best friend. So I was like, oh, that's who she wants. So I feel like Grandpa Bergie also told me, he said, I think that my grandpa just doesn't like the show in general. Like he just
that could be the case.
Super fair.
He made a quick comment. He's seen more skin on Love Island than he did in the medical field for 50 years. So I thought that was amazing. That was funny.
He's probably just shocked by the show.
Right,
general.
he's probably like, all right, Bergie, time to come home. Like, right? It's just like let's wrap it up. I'm done watching this show. But no, that for sure. And there was all the connections really did seem genuine. I have to ask you guys because I don't know if you saw this, but Hannah, I feel like probably you. Marco, I don't know if you're very familiar with the Dumois and Instagram account. Anonymous submissions. There was something that kind of went viral that a popular Love Island couple, unnamed, had known each other before the villa, and they went in with the guise of winning the show. And a lot of people jumped to you guys because they felt like you guys had the strongest connection. Any thoughts on that?
I'll go first. I'll light this room up. No, no, absolutely not. It was not a thought. I understand, our types aligned perfectly. We never knew each other. I live in Ohio. She lives in Palm Springs. There were no mutuals. We didn't share the same gym. We didn't, correlate in any way or at all. There's no match there. I would have never crossed paths with her. She's older than me, 2 years older than me. Like I said, if I was on a dating app near her, our geolocations don't reach across the country. So
I've never been to Ohio. He lives in Florida now. Never been to Florida. Like, I really feel like if it wasn't for the show, we wouldn't have crossed paths in life because we're just
right. I mean, you live on the opposite side of the country.
If I saw her in the bar, she wouldn't get another breath out. Yeah, don't get that.
I love that clarification. But no,
he would approach you in a bar if you were in the same state.
Right. It's like we didn't know each other, but if we did, like I would still talk to her.
100%.
Yeah. So now
we're not even from the same area,
Yeah.
Line.
No, definitely. It's always a good thing to clear up. So now, like, what's the future got in store for you guys? I'm sure you're having these conversations, but you're back in the real world. You mentioned you want to see your families and go and talk and see everybody, but have you talked about what the next steps are for you guys as a couple?
Every day, all day. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I plan on moving to Florida. I haven't even been there, so we're going there tomorrow.
Florida's great.
So,
what part of Florida?
Boca Raton is where I live.
Oh, nice.
Beautiful. Yeah. You'll love it.
Yeah, okay. So I'm like in a position where I always said like I'm not tied to Cali. So I always said like if I find my person, I'll move. And I feel like I found my person. So that's my plan.
Still good weather.
Yeah.
That's what, and then I remember in the villa, they said that like Boca is kind of like a Palm Springs in Florida, like similar vibe.
True.
So I'm like, as long as it's warm, that's what I like. So
definitely warm.
Yeah, and you're close to so many other great spots. We're down in like our families are down in like the West Palm Beach, Jupiter area. Like it's
Beach.
It's like there's a ton. You really can't go wrong. Mm-hmm. So we highly support that decision to head to Florida.
Delray, great.
Delray, super fun.
Throw Social.
Yeah. I love Throw Social.
We're gonna have that place rocking. I'll tell you that. That's where we're going. That's our coming home party.
Perfect. No,
it's a great spot.
It's a great spot. So I'm glad you guys are making those plans because I think one of the hardest things that people do when they get out of the show is you see them say like, oh, we're going to try and make the distance work and see what happens. And then that never actually pans out. So you kind of have to make that commitment to each other, I think.
Yeah, distance is a bullshit excuse. I truly think that, there's no reason to have, a distance excuse. I'm here. All I did was fly here. I am in school and I'm still doing my priorities.
Yeah.
She ended up coming in on me, recording me, getting onto my Zoom class. But for me, my near future is graduating college. It's a life goal of mine to do. I know some people are like, you don't have to. Why don't waste this moment where you're focused somewhere else. But for me, it was a promise I made my mom. I want my degree. I really do. So she's gonna help me get that, in the next by May.
Study buddy.
She's my study buddy. So
Perfect.
yeah, a little worry though at first in the villa was I'm just cemented in Florida, and she took that away like easy. I started my life there, started some businesses there. I have a couple properties there, so I wasn't really up to moving, and she took that away, and that's when I knew, this is my girl.
Yeah, it also works out good because I'm in a place in my life where like I'm done with school. Like I just started working last year. I'm still figuring it out, so it's kind of perfect time for this to happen.
Right. No, that's great. You guys can set up roots together, which is really a beautiful thing. So we're super excited. I mean, we were rooting for you guys the whole season for sure. I think, I very much support America's decision in who they wanted on top at the top of this whole thing. So we're very excited for you guys.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thanks for jumping on and talking with us.
Thank you so much.
Everyone, I know everyone. I know you were watching, so go and follow along with their journeys. It'll be a lot of fun. And thanks for coming on the show, guys.
No, thank you so much.
That Andy Warhol edit of that in the background, that Campbell soup, that is so tough.
Yeah.
I love art. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
You guys
We just really love soup. So that's
what that's for.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, awesome. All right. Thank you guys so much.
Guys. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
You too.
All right, that wraps up today's episode of Chicks in the Office. We hope you guys have an amazing weekend. Have fun. Be safe. We love you guys, and we'll talk to you on Wednesday.